What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Maria and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend. This podcast is presented by Pepsi Wild Cherry. You know that we love our Pepsi Wild Cherry. We drink our Pepsi Wild Cherry, zero sugar. When we're at the office and we order a nice lunch, we got our Pepsi Wild Cherry zero sugar sitting right next to us. And of course, it gives you those little wild moments that you're looking for because it just adds a little bit of wild in your life, whether you're headed out for the weekend or you stayed in, whatever it is. Pepsi Wild Cherry gives you the wild that you need. Fran, give me one wild moment that you had this weekend.
Well, Rhea, I could share so many. No, I was on a bachelorette trip, so wild moments left and right. But I will say, Friday night we went to a bar in Breckenridge in Colorado. That's where we were at, and it was an astonishing ratio of men to women. like something I've never seen before, honestly. It was crazy. Like, never been to a spot in New York like that. It was maybe like 200 guys and like 40 girls. It was
Really? It's usually the opposite.
I know. I guess maybe like big ski, snowboard town, like a lot of boys trips. I don't know what it was. And there were girls there for sure, but there were a lot of men. But it was a great time. We were dancing the night away. What was one of those bars that plays the music videos on the TVs?
Oh, that's always the best.
Spectacular.
Because you can dance, but if you don't feel like dancing, you could just like watch the music video.
Exactly.
You're really enjoying the music video right now.
Exactly. Like they played Baby, Justin Bieber, and like everybody stopped like look at the TVs because what an iconic music video. So that was my wild moment of the weekend. I have more to share as we go through the intro, but I will say Friday night we'll take the cake as the wild moments for sure.
Wild moment. Let me think about my wild moment. Mine may be a little bit less wild. I did go out on Friday, but that's not the wild moment I'm talking about. The wild moment was showing up to my house on Long Island and realizing that my parents also stocked up on Pepsi Wild Cherry Zero Sugar.
Yeah.
It was quite a delight. We were going to have lunch together and I was like, let me grab a drink. Walked into my garage because I feel like, I don't know if everybody does this, but like my family, they leave the drinks in the fridge in the garage. Like I had that second fridge in the garage. Totally. Looked inside, Pepsi Wild Cherry Zero Sugar. I said, that's what I'm having for lunch. So that was maybe not the wildest moment, but the wild moment that I was looking for at that time.
I appreciate their loyalty to us and to Pepsi.
Yes, they are extremely loyal. Actually, this made me laugh, and I've been meaning to talk about this. By the way, go get your Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild with us. But my dad said to me, and this is when I realized that he must not listen to this show like he claims he does. He said to me, you really got to talk about how much you love acting. How come you never talk about how much you love acting? I said, Dad, you clearly never listened to the show.
Yeah.
I said, I talked about how much I love acting so much I had to stop talking about it.
Right.
And he said, really? So I just feel like I'm like, Dad, trust me on this. You just showed your colors as not a true fan.
No, but also that's also just a father's love. Like, even if he is listening, he's like, you could be talking about it more. Like, you're not talking about it. Like, you're not talking about it enough.
Right. For the 2 hours. Like, he's like, you have this love for acting. I'm like, Dad, people know. Yeah. They know. And I had to cut it back a little bit. But yeah, casual, it was a typical weekend. Went out on Friday, had a nice dinner, went to a bar / I don't even know what I would call it. Noah, what would you call it? Club? Like, was it a club? Like, I don't even know. I've never been in my life.
I think you would call it technically a club, yeah, but yeah, it's like high up, like nice views.
Yeah, I would say more of a lounge.
Was it in the city?
It was getting pretty like crowded. Like, you left and then it was getting pretty like clubby.
Right. Yeah. So never been there before, but just typical going out in the city. And then Saturday I had to go see my nephew, did my first feeding.
Yes,
your
sister sent me a picture and said she called you a baby hog. she said, this girl is not letting go of this baby.
Well, the thing is, we are now going to embark on our tour,
Yeah,
which has us traveling to multiple places,
a lot. Yeah, we are
you
traveling a
know,
lot.
for the next month and like every week. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get home. So I
Yeah.
really want to spend as much time with him as I can. And I fed him both his bottles on Saturday that I was there for. Obviously, he ate more than that, but I was like so excited. I was loving every minute of it. But yeah, I don't know what I think. I was go, go, go for 2 weeks. And I didn't really think about it. Like in my head, I wasn't like, oh, I'm super stressed out, but like clearly my body felt
Yeah.
really stressed out.
Yep.
And it hit me like a fucking brick wall. Like my energy level is depleted at this very moment. I feel like everything has been sucked out of me this Monday morning.
Yeah, it's one of those
But
Mondays for
it's
sure.
one of those. And now I'm just planning on re-energizing for our show on Friday for Charleston. That's this Friday. So, guys, tickets still on sale for multiple other cities. Go check that out. Link is in the description and on our social media. You can, buy tickets. But I'm really excited for Charleston on Friday. I've never been to Charleston, and everyone talks about how much they love it. And
It's a
I'm
great city.
really, really excited for Charleston this Friday. So I'm trying to get my energy levels back up. Crazy past 2 weeks, feeling depleted at this very moment in time. But we will rest, recover, and come back.
Yeah.
How was your week?
I definitely, it was, we had two very different weekends. I was on Claire's bachelorette party, so much fun. We were joking, and really all majority of us were okay because the altitude is like obviously a really serious thing. And like Denver is one thing, Breckenridge is double, almost, like where the house you were staying at was like 11,000 feet up. So that's a lot. But majority of us were okay. There's a couple issues here or there, but majority of us were okay. Friday night we went to, like I said, we went to this what they call the only nightclub in Breckenridge, which was funny in itself, but it was a lot of fun. We also just looked, when you just know you're like, I'm on a bachelorette party. Claire wants to get dressed up. We're all getting dressed up. She's got her cute silver dress on. And like the whole thing. But you're walking around like a quaint ski town where like people are still out in their snow boots, and we were getting a lot of these, like a lot of like, oh, okay, look at these people.
Well, you're stepping on their territory. They're like, these hot bitches are coming in and stepping on our snowy town.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but we did have a ton of fun, and so funny. There was like, obviously there were other bachelor parties running around and we saw a ton of them, but there was one, and I told them that I was going to talk about it. So I'm going to, because it was actually very funny. We're in the bar Friday night, and this guy is just dressed as a chicken. Like he's in a full chicken costume. And we just thought it was like, in the moment, we thought it was the funniest thing. We were like, oh my God, this guy's a chicken. Like I made him take a picture with Claire. Like I have this really cute picture of this chicken and Claire, like they're like smiling and posing. Yeah. And I kind of like got some of the details when we were at the bar, but I like didn't know if I was mishearing him, but it sounded like his job as the chicken was to run around the town like all night. And the bachelor party had to find him. Like he was going to be at a bar, and like the bachelor party had to go to all different bars to like, find the chicken.
Was he a part of the bachelor party, or was he just hired chicken?
Yeah. The hired chicken. No,
like, is that like a company?
No, he was a part of the bachelor party. And he did say his girlfriend was a fan of the show. So if she's listening, sometimes guys make that up. I think he was being legit. But I do feel like sometimes guys are like, oh my God, my girlfriend loves your show. Like, can we take a picture? I'm like, you don't have a girlfriend. No, but I really do think he was telling the truth. And then in the morning we were dying laughing, and I was just like, damn, I wonder what Chicken Man's doing today.
Like,
And we
is
were all
he
laughing.
still in chicken?
Exactly. We were like, you think he has to be the chicken all weekend, or do you think it was just one night? So I was like, oh man, I really hope we see him again. So we went tubing on Saturday, which was so much fun. Like, have not gone tubing in a really long time, and was really quite enjoyable for a group of girls that were in, like, it was pristine ski weather. Like, it was sunny, not a cloud in the sky, like not super cold, where it almost like made me want to get on skis just because it was so nice out. Like, I was like, damn, this is a perfect weekend. So we did the tubing, which was really fun. And then we went up to the mountain to go to the bar that's up there. And we had lunch, we're sitting at the table, and one of us, I forget who it was, but like, we're looking out the window, and like from afar, we're like, there he is.
You just see chicken guy.
Still dressed as the chicken, same costume. He's like, from a distance, we're like, oh man, I hope he comes in here. And eventually his group did come into the bar, and literally we sent one of the girls to go get the chicken and bring him back to our table.
And now I'm wondering, is he sleeping in this chicken outfit? Is he cooking breakfast in this chicken
I
outfit?
know.
Is he
Believe
just
me.
designated chicken?
I had so many questions for him that I was like, he was probably like, all right, stop with the interrogation. Like, I was like, so did you ski? Like, what have you been wearing this all day? Where have you gone? Why are you wearing it on the plane home tomorrow?
And then your mind starts racing, like, who came up with the chicken idea? Is he the kind of guy that was like, guys, this will be really funny if I dress up as a chicken? Did somebody else in the group say, oh, you know what would be funny if we got someone to dress as a chicken the whole time? There's a lot of questions to be asked.
I think they like paid him to do it. I could be making this up.
Maybe he lost the bet.
I was picking up bits and pieces of the story. I asked if he lost fantasy football. I was like, did you lose fantasy football? Because this screams fantasy football punishment to me. Like, oh, you got to dress as a chicken all weekend. But I think he was really only supposed to be the chicken on Friday. But then it was like so funny that they were like, well, you got to just continue to be the chicken all weekend. And I hope I'm getting my facts straight, because it was a big bachelor party. There was also another bachelor party behind us that we were just getting like far too many details about this man's life. Like, he was like, I was engaged before, I broke up. It was a whole big thing. Now I met the real woman of my dreams. Like, really getting all, and he was sharing it with like everybody.
Yeah.
But his group was very funny too. And he tossed Claire in the air. Like, so high in the air. Like, I don't think he expected Claire to, like, she's so tiny, to like be so light. And he just taught, like, the DJ was really good. And honestly, like, all of a sudden it went from us like sitting having a normal meal to like an hour later, the whole place being full and like feeling like we were at like a legit club. And it was a ton of fun. But yeah, that bachelor party was interesting. He got yelled at many times and eventually was kicked out. The police were funny. Like, the people who were in charge were these really tiny ladies. And honestly, it looked like picture Miss Ungermeyer and like French Bull like combined. Like this, she's got a tight bun. She's like 5 feet tall. She's in her full gear. And this guy just, every time he kept like jumping on the standing on the chair, like, you know, and she'd come over, she'd be like, feet on the floor, like screaming, but she's this little, and then after she came back the third time and was like, 3 strikes, you're out.
Classic.
Oh man. So no, it was good. And we had so much fun. The time difference kind of like played with us a little bit too. We like just had such a fun day on Saturday that we went back to the house and we were all asleep by like 9 p.m.
What's the time difference there? I always forget.
2 hours.
Okay, yeah. I mean, of course.
It's like not crazy,
but it just still messes you up anyway.
It does. And like, we ordered pizzas and we got comfy and we went in the hot tub, and then we were like, we're not going back out. Like,
that's the best feeling ever though. Like, when you have a long day of activities, that kind of happened similar when I went on my friend's bachelorette in the summer, where you have all these, these ideas, like, we're going to do this all day and we're going to do this all night. And then once you do the all day and you had a really good day, you're like, okay, we all need bed.
Yeah.
It's bedtime. Like we've accomplished what we needed to accomplish today, and now it's time for bed.
I know. And after going on a bunch, you definitely realize that too. Like, and we had a long travel day Sunday. So it was like, it all worked out for the best. Like we did not need to be out, and everyone woke up Sunday and was like, damn, I feel all right. Like that's like how we wanted. Like that was really clutch. Because it's a pretty far ride from there to the Denver airport, and there's like ski traffic and everything. So it took us a while. And made it home. And then, oh my God, I fucking jinxed it so bad, Rhea. I shared an Uber with 2 other girls back to the city. We landed in Newark at like 11:30. And as we got into the Uber, we're like driving away. I was like, damn, like good for us, a group of 11 something girls, like no one really had any travel issues. Like everybody's flights were on time. No one would, like, besides one incident, like we were all good. I'm like, damn, we had no travel issues.
Mhm.
We were in the Uber. We're like stopped at a red light, which some guy fucking rear ends the Uber.
What?
And like,
That you were
oh yeah. And he, I don't know if he was on his phone or what, like, but I don't know. He hit the back of the car pretty good.
What?
And yeah, so our Uber driver gets out. He starts yelling. The guy starts yelling. We're like 3 girls sitting in the back seat, like, it's like midnight. It's midnight, and we're
thank
in the.
God you guys were with each other.
I know, that's what I said. I was like, we have a group. And no, yeah. Then the Uber driver was like, you're high, screaming at him that he's high. And the guy's like, I don't even smoke. I'm not high. And then, it was like a whole thing, right? Like he was like, give me your information. And the guy was like, no, like you call the police. Like it's going to take hours for them to come. Like you want to be here for hours? So eventually, thankfully they did, I wouldn't say they resolved it, but our Uber driver took a picture of his license plate and was like, all right, I got your license plate. Like I'm leaving.
Yeah. Like we don't need to discuss any further, but I have what I need to have.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I literally looked at, I was like, I'm so sorry, guys. I totally jinxed this. Like I really spoke this into existence after being like, damn, and no one had any issues.
That's wild. Well, I'm glad you guys
know
each other, because that's so scary that time of the night, and like with an Uber.
That's how, yeah.
You're not even in
and
your car, or
we were also like on one of those like side highways, in New York, like on the way to the Lincoln Tunnel, not in New York, in New Jersey, on the way to the Lincoln Tunnel, that like there's like no room to pull over. Yeah. Like it's like you just don't want to be like stuck in the middle of that road. But thankfully we made it through and we all made it home safely. But it was a very fun weekend.
Yeah,
really
that sounds like
it.
so much fun. I was loving the pictures. The house, everything, the pictures looked stunning, the mountains. It looked incredible.
It really looked fake. Like I've never been out. I've never really been to any mountains like out west. Like we're not a ski family. Like I've never done Vail or Aspen or fucking Park City, wherever like all the people go. And seeing it really like looks fake. Like you're like, wow, it's so stunning.
Right.
So
you're
stunning.
Like, how is this in the same place that I like
completely. So it was very nice. Very nice, great weekend, so much fun. And yeah, this starts to kick off the trips.
Yes, we got a ton of trips coming up. We got Charleston this week. Next week we got Texas and Ohio. Week after that is Atlanta or New Orleans.
Atlanta.
And then New Orleans and
New Orleans.
LA. So we are going to be traveling every single week. We're going to be busy bees, but we are so excited. The shows are so much fun and we're going to have a blast, and seeing you guys all in person is always a treat. Reminder that tomorrow, Tuesday, noon Eastern time, our trivia game is restocked. Beat Rhea and Fran is restocked. So if you signed up for the waiting list back in November, it was during Black Friday, you guys will be notified and you can buy the game. If you've been waiting on the edge of your seat, waiting to buy this game, that'll be restocked tomorrow, Tuesday, 12 Eastern time. So look out for that. And yeah, super excited. The tickets are still on sale. So you can check that out, not for Ohio. There's a couple of like single tickets for Charleston. So if you've been debating and you have no plans Friday, why not just come along? And maybe we'll see you after the show. I'm just saying, maybe we'll see you after the show. All right, let's get into the topics for today. We are going to be talking about the SAG Awards. That was on Saturday night. Always a little confusing when an award show is on a Saturday night. Yeah. Shane Gillis hosted Saturday Night Live. Obviously, people had opinions about that. Wendy Williams' documentary revealed she has dementia, and then her son talked about that as well. Portia Williams' divorce is being talked about a ton this weekend, and we have our weekly watch report. So let's get into the topics. You should not have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Don't worry. Noah doesn't have to worry because he's going to a big concert this Saturday, all thanks to Game Time. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. We've all used Game Time a ton of times at this point, and it's easy for last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, and easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. They're obsessed with finding ways to help you save money on tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even at an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats. You can find exclusive deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section and Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHICKS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICKS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So the SAG Awards were this weekend on Saturday. I feel like it's always confusing when award shows on a Saturday. It's like, why can't you do Sunday? People are doing stuff on Saturday night, and you put it on Saturday night, we all get confused.
I know. I really feel like this award season, everything's been packed in, and I guess that's a lot of that is also because the Emmys like were moved around, but there was multiple like. Every weekend, I feel like these guys must be exhausted. Like it's like right? They're dressed up constantly. Not only was it Saturday, and then Sunday was like the Independent Spirit Awards, and everybody was also there. So it's just like it just feels like it's been nonstop because I really don't feel like there's been too crazy like of pop culture news stories that have happened. Because all the celebrities are just on red carpets constantly for the last 2 months. Right. Like they've just been walking carpets.
Yeah, they don't even have time to do any scandals or anything because they got carpets to attend. I feel like they're probably like, oh my God, I need another outfit for this. Margot Robbie's like, oh my God, I need another pink outfit. It then hit me that the Oscars haven't even aired yet. Like I was like, oh my God, award season's still going. I'm like, wait, we haven't even seen the Oscars. So that was Saturday night, and I did not watch. You did not watch either, but everybody saw the.
It was on Netflix. Like you can stream it, which is kind of fun. Like you can go back and rewatch if you so desire. I actually really wanted to watch. I was hoping I'd be able to download it on my iPad and watch it on the plane on the way home. Not downloadable. I mean, like, come on.
So strange.
I know.
It's so what they pick and choose to make downloadable and not.
I know that grinded my gears a little bit because I was like, oh, this would be so nice. It would take out my whole flight, like the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. You're all entertainment. There's celebrity. The standout moment to me, and mainly because I most recently watched The Devil Wears Prada for the first time, if we can recall. Was their reunion on stage. I love their dynamic. They've had after I saw Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, they had their moment on stage. I then went back and saw the old clips of them from like 2007 of them on stage and them going after Meryl, which is funny to see that like they were going at Meryl a little bit harder this year because they've all, they've all grown up. And so it was great to see. I mean, Anne Hathaway is absolutely killing it. Okay. Every video, every picture, everything I see of Anne Hathaway is turning me into an Anne Hathaway stan. Like,
Mm.
I love Anne Hathaway. I love everything she wears. I love her entire attitude. Every video I see of her at a party, she's doing some funky dance in the middle of everybody, just breaking it down, having a good time. Like, I'm obsessed with Anne Hathaway right now. And I think she knows people are obsessed with her right now.
Oh, definitely. There's been an Anne Hathaway rebirth almost. It's like, but it's, I don't know. So it goes back and forth for me. Like sometimes I can't get enough of it. Like her fashion choices, I love. I think she looks absolutely stunning. And then I see some videos where I'm like, all right, Anne, like, let your hair down a little bit, you know? Like I
What do you
sometimes
mean? She does let her hair down. Have you seen
No,
her fucking breaking
no.
it down?
Yeah,
I
wait,
know
wait. The
dance-
video that I've seen is like her dancing in the center of a
No, the
circle.
dancing is different.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the dancing. I'm talking about her talking. I'm talking about her talking in interviews. Sometimes I'm like, all right, you're like, the way she responds to questions sometimes is very like, I am the princess of Genoa. Like, it's just very put together. The dancing, obviously fun. Yes, she's letting loose. She's dancing. She's having fun. Those are fun. I think like sometimes it's just, and it is just kind of the way she speaks. I think that's just the way it is, but it's just
And Hathaway's very regal.
it's just very, yes, she is very regal. She is very regal. But no, she has been everywhere. And that moment was great for sure. And it's been, her fashion's been talked about all the time. And, that a lot of conversation around that color blue.
Well, I think
everyone was making the cerulean jokes, but like,
yeah. I think if you can pull off that kind of blue, you go for it. And I think Anne Hathaway pulls off that blue. Like I
think she does too.
I'm just obsessed with her fashion. I mean, Emily Blunt too. Like they both looked absolutely gorgeous. And I love that they were like picking on Meryl on stage. Like I love the dynamic.
Yeah, it is very funny. There
By
was
the way,
a lot
did
of good
you see
fashion.
Meryl and Martin Short were seen out
I did see that, yes.
together. I don't know. They could just be friends, but they could be more than that. Just because they're old doesn't mean they can't be,
Yeah.
little something on the side.
A little FWB situation.
But friends with benefits knows no age.
That is true.
No,
that is very true.
Everybody's got to get some, no matter what age you are.
What did you think of Brie Larson's red carpet look at SAG?
So I really liked it.
Yeah.
People lost their fucking minds for it. Like I liked it a lot. But when I initially saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. I wasn't like, holy fuck, I'm gonna flip over this table because I can't believe how good this outfit is. But my God, the reaction to it was like nothing I've seen before for something somebody's worn.
I think a lot of that came from the fact that like you never see Brie Larson in something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also where it came from. Like this is an outfit that I don't feel like she normally takes a lot of fashion risks. She always looks very put together, pretty. And this was obviously a very different look, and it paid off for sure. I thought she looked absolutely stunning. I thought it was really cool. And a lot of people had fun at the SAG Awards, I would say. Like Margot Robbie's was hit or miss. I think people either loved it or hated it. Not my favorite.
Not my favorite of hers, because she's been killing some looks lately, and I think she probably got SAG Awards. Let me pick my worst option out of the bunch, because she knows the Oscars are around the corner.
Yep.
And
got to bring out the big guns.
You got to bring the pizzazz for the Oscars. So she thought, I'm tired of going so hard. Let me go a little less hard for the SAG Awards, and then boom, I'll pop back out of the Oscars.
I think Carey Mulligan was my best dressed. I love
Carey Mulligan looked fantastic.
Like that silhouette is so stunning. The jewelry was perfect. Hair and makeup perfect. It's like one of those dresses where it literally like looks like the fabric is like moving,
Mm-hmm. It was stunning. I saw somebody write, this is a dress. Like that's what that is. That is the definition of a dress.
Absolutely. As far as winners go, if you did not know that the SAG Awards were happening, like a lot of the rest of us on a Saturday, as I just like opened my phone on Saturday and was like, whoa, red carpet pictures. Oppenheimer was the big winner for movies. It won motion picture cast. Cillian Murphy won. Lily Gladstone won for Killers of the Flower Moon, which was great. Everyone was talking about Emma Stone's reaction, because obviously Emma Stone was nominated for Poor Things. She's been winning as well, but this award went to Lily Gladstone, and she had a very like genuine, excited reaction for her, which was very sweet. And Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, and Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. So we've had a lot of repeats. We'll see if everything stays pretty consistent with the Oscars. You know, sometimes maybe Oscar voting, I think, just ended as well. So maybe something could slip in there. We'll see if anything changes or if they're kind of consistent with what we've been seeing. And then they also do a stunt ensemble in a motion picture, which is a fun category that went to Mission Impossible. And then there were some great ones for television. Succession won drama series, The Bear for comedy. So once again, the ones that have been winning.
The 1-2 punch.
Yep. Stephen Ewan for Beef won for miniseries. Ali Wong won for Beef miniseries. Pedro Pascal won for The Last of Us, and Elizabeth Debicki won for The Crown. And Jeremy Allen White for Bear, and Iota Berry for The Bear as well, and stunt ensemble to The Last of Us. And Barbara Streisand won the Life Achievement Award. What a queen she is, Barbara. Babs. An absolute legend. I also saw, I think maybe it was the Spirit Awards, or there was some other award show that I can't remember which one exactly it was. That, oh man, why am I spacing on his name right now in this moment? Ron Swanson.
Oh, I don't know.
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman.
Oh,
Thank
yes,
you,
yes,
Noah.
yes.
Nick Offerman. He won an award for his performance in The Last of Us. And it won incredibly well-deserved. Like, God, what a good performance that was in that show. And he had a great speech where he was like, you know, people were like, why does it have to be a gay relationship? And he was like, it's a love story, you assholes. Like, it was great. It was powerful. Love him. Loved that role. He was so good in that. But no, it's impossible to keep up.
Yeah, there's so much going on. And sometimes, you know, all the big awards. We obviously do know the SAG Awards, but sometimes you hear an award show, you go, when did that one slip in there?
I know, like last night, Independent Spirit Awards, and all the stars were there. It was great.
Yeah, and all the stars are there, and you're like, oh, okay, they thought these were important enough to show up for, so these must be, you know, it's not just a random award show. It's just I guess, are not in tune to it.
Right. We're like, we should be seated and paying attention. And Adie Bryant hosted that show too, and everyone was saying she did a great job. So I feel like we're just slipping award shows in here, like back to back evenings.
Right. I know. And now I think Oscars is the last. Well, there's probably a few after the Oscars, but at that point, once the Oscars closes it down, that's when I'm done with the award show season.
Yeah, I think the Oscars are the last thing.
I think the Oscars, they choose to be the last thing because they're like, hey, we're not being mixed in between. We're the Oscars.
Yeah.
You know,
it's best
for last.
Exactly. It's the most prestigious one
too. Like, that's how they talk.
The Academy.
Yes, that's how the Academy talks.
Superstar singer Mary Morris partnered with Visible this Singles Awareness Day with an amazing new cover of Dancing with Myself. Visible is the one-line wireless plan designed for singles. Celebrate being independent by saving on wireless. Switch to Visible and get a one-line wireless plan with unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon, just $25 a month, taxes and fees included. It's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon, one-line wireless, just $25 a month, taxes and fees included. Singles Awareness Day was February 15th, and Visible celebrated by partnering with Maren Morris to cover the hit single, Dancing with Myself. It's an absolute banger and everyone should listen to it. Stream the full song and watch the performance on Visible.com. Switch to Visible now at Visible.com. Being single is something to celebrate and not just on Singles Day. So with Visible, you don't need anyone else to get the best price on wireless. Start saving at Visible.com. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. So switch at Visible.com.
Saturday night also, Shane Gillis hosted Saturday Night Live. People were really excited for that because if you don't know the backstory, Shane Gillis was hired for SNL back in 2019 and then was fired 5 days later. So he never got to be on the show. I thought his monologue was funny. You guys know my stance about Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live has gone to the shitter. Okay. Yeah. The sketches, funnier this time, but like, I don't know. They just don't, the sketches just don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That opening sketch was so bad. Did you watch that?
I caught a bunch of them. Like I was watching them all on Twitter. You know how the the SNL Twitter account posts all of them individually. So I was trying to watch a bunch of them, and I mean, you guys know, and you know this about me. I can be an SNL apologist, and there were some tough moments for sure. I feel like he was really trying to make the most of the sketches he was given.
Right. I think that's what you have to do. And Dane Cook put out a video talking about him hosting SNL twice or whatever, and said that like it's the hardest thing that you could do as like a stand-up comedian is because there are stand-up comics and then there's people who are very into sketch comedy and then there's people who do both. And sometimes when you're a stand-up comic that steps into their territory, they want them to know like you're coming into my territory, you must respect our sketches. And then there are the people who obviously respect the stand-up comics as well. I thought, his monologue, he did his material, like he did his stand-up material that has been seen before by people who watch and follow Shane Gillis, and of course new people probably as well.
Yeah, I understand why he did that, right? Like it's like SNL is such a massive platform and there's so many people who haven't heard those jokes. As someone like I kind of wish he did a like maybe some newer, not new stuff, but I don't know. Like I guess you wouldn't even really want to do new stuff on SNL.
Yeah, I saw a clip of
I don't think you want to.
I was just gonna say, like, I saw a clip of him talking about that. He talked to Louis C.K. about doing the SNL monologue, and Louis was like, I did all new stuff, and Shane's like, I think I'm gonna do that too. And he's like, I'm way better at stand-up than you. Just do the jokes that you already have, like is what he told Shane. So I guess Shane listened to him.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like said it in a funny way, but like,
yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. For me, like, I was really, really excited for his monologue. And I was like, oh, I mean, it's funny, but I've heard this before.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's fair, but I think also he's probably, nervous, and you're right. Like maybe you don't want to test new material on SNL.
Yeah, it's right.
You probably don't know. You don't know the accurate, like reception to it because the crowd isn't going to be a good tell at SNL. And then online, you're going to have such mixed reactions anyway that like testing new material is probably like, but yeah, the monologue was funny because we do enjoy Shane's stand-up. So like if you enjoy his stand-up, then you thought his monologue was funny.
Like we're fans. We've already seen it. We've watched his specials.
Exactly. So it's like, right.
I thought he was gonna like go into the being fired from SNL thing like more, but he kind of just like mentioned it and moved on.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's the way you do that though. Like you're not going to go on and you're not going to want to go on SNL and like make your whole monologue about how you've been how you were fired from the show. Like
right. He did mention it, which I thought was great, but then at that point, like, is he going to go on and on to say why he was fired? And then you get
the one joke he made about it was perfect. It was like, don't Google it. Like it was, like that. I thought that was funny, and you don't really need to touch on it anymore. And I'm also sure that SNL didn't want him. Like, I'm sure some people said to him, like, hey, you can make a joke about being fired, but like, don't make it the whole thing. Like, I don't think SNL would want him to do that.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, Shane's hilarious. So many, like he's one of the best right now. Like people are just
Yeah.
obsessed with him. So it's just cool in general. I think people were just really excited just to have that story. I think is really cool because
Yeah.
if he just hosted SNL, obviously it would be very cool. But him being fired from SNL and then being invited to host is just
Yeah.
an all-time story that I think people appreciate. So yeah, it's just SNL in general. Just there, it's just who is writing these sketches? Like I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But we talk about that every time we talk about SNL. That's my feelings every single time.
I know. And I say the same thing every time too. I'm like, oh, like, yeah, some of the sketches are bad, but some are okay. And I always enjoy Weekend Update.
Yeah, we both have the same take every single time.
Like literally every single time. I did think
Yeah.
that I mean, obviously there's like timely things like the
Oh, damn.
guy dressing as the frozen embryo was a way to make fun of something that is actually like very serious and scary, like with what happened in Alabama with like,
Yeah.
I'm saying that like if you have your fucking frozen embryos that they're all children, like
Yeah.
that's scary. It's really like scary situation,
Very.
dark time. Like that's some dystopian shit right there. Like,
Mhm.
I don't like that at all. But of course, like, SNL does that where they make jokes about what's obviously going on in current times. And I thought they, did a good job trying to laugh at something that's pretty scary. So
Right, exactly.
I hope Shane was proud of himself, and it's really like you said, it's really just an impressive thing to show that after you got fired from what could be considered one of the highest jobs you can get in comedy, or not, most prestigious, maybe one might say, that he came back to host it only, 3-ish, 4 years later.
Right.
It
It means
was,
he's doing so well
5.
that they had to invite him back.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was cool that his
exactly.
parents were in the audience and he like
Yeah, that
shouted
was
them
great.
out.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, I
Um,
thought, that was funny.
Moving on, Wendy Williams. Now, people have been wondering where Wendy Williams went. It kind of seemed like Wendy Williams randomly disappeared. We knew that she had some health issues. I think we saw it go down live on TV a couple times. Wendy Williams has been suffering from dementia. Now, it
Yeah.
has been displayed in this documentary, and people have a lot to say about Wendy Williams' actions without taking in consideration that dementia can have all of these side effects, right? Like there are, I've been seeing the clips going around of Wendy Williams being like, rude to her assistants and people around her. And like, these are all side effects of that. So it is very sad to see. Her son talked about it and said that this was alcohol-induced dementia, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And the entire thing is very interesting and very sad to see because I feel like we are seeing something that we shouldn't be seeing.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like, I'm like, I do understand that people want to make light of things and make documentaries to make light of things, but I'm like, I don't know if we should be seeing this.
Yeah, it's really tough too because it feels like for the last few years she has been laughed at and ridiculed a lot. Like she is so iconic and people love her so much. And when things kind of started to get weird, everyone had a lot to say about it, a lot to be like, what's going on with her? This is crazy, blah, 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 the whole thing. And now, you hear about this diagnosis and it just breaks your heart. Like it's devastating. It's really hard for somebody who lives your life in the spotlight and you're somebody, you're on TV every day. It's like people know about your life. It's hard to draw the line on like what you share and don't share and what people see and don't see. And now we're kind of seeing this side of it that is it's just very sad. I feel bad.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her family too. Obviously I am no doctor. I've never heard of alcohol-induced dementia. If that is something, then, I apologize. I did not know that was even something that could happen, which is a scary thought.
Yeah, it's all very scary, and I feel sorry for her, and I just the clips and everything I've been seeing are very sad. So
Yeah.
moving on,
Yeah, it really is. There's multiple different syndrome names are particular forms of alcohol-related brain injury, which may be related to alcohol-related dementia.
Yeah,
Jeez, that is just awful.
very, very sad.
Yeah.
Moving on to the last topic, Portia Williams announced her divorce from her husband Simon, and this was just after 1 year of marriage, and they both posted
15 months.
Yeah, they both posted separate Instagram stories about this, and it was interesting to see the difference in the Instagram stories that were posted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's like a lot of speculation from fans on the motive here. I mean, I remember talking about this. I feel like it wasn't even that long ago that we were like, wow, this is crazy. Like Portia is something is playing off my phone. Oh, there we go. I don't know what that was. I feel like we were just talking about it where Portia and Simon had gotten together, and it was crazy because of Simon's relationship with the other, what I'm spacing on her name already.
Phelan?
With another Real Housewives of Atlanta. What was her name?
Phelan or Fallon?
Yeah. Yes. Fallon. Yes. And that was a whole big scandal. And now she filed for divorce. People magazine wrote news of their split comes as rumors fly online about his citizen status. There was an article that came out a couple days ago, basically saying that he could be deported. That he shared an unapologetic Instagram post amidst rumors that the newlywed could be deported. He was reportedly denied permanent residency in the United States due to a criminal record and is currently appealing to the decision. The news comes with a staggering series of allegations against Simon, and just after Portia announced her return to the reality show following a 3-year hiatus. So it sounds like he is caught up in his own issues, which obviously has a lot of fans thinking that Portia was like, oh, well, I'm not dealing with any of this. However, a source told People that the divorce is unrelated to recent allegations involving Simon's past. The cause of their split is an ongoing matter, adds the insider. Got married in November of 2022. And here they are obviously getting divorced. So I guess it is the perfect time for her to head back to the show.
Right? I mean,
fresh off a divorce.
Yeah, that's the best time for somebody to head on reality TV. And I don't mean that with sarcasm. It means that that's when we get the best reality TV.
Yeah. I'm not saying like anything is done for a story, like getting divorced for a storyline would be absolutely, would be pretty insane. But, there's a lot to talk about for her to come back to the show. She's been away for the last couple seasons. And she also just signed an overall scripted deal with NBC Universal on, quote, scripted project opportunities across the company's broadcast and streaming properties. So there we go. She'll be back she'll be back in full swing. So it feels like at this point, like we haven't really, her personal life stuff we haven't seen on the show because she hasn't been on the show. And there's been a lot of tabloid rumors about it. Now she'll be back on the show and discuss. And I'm sure a lot of the ladies will have a lot to say.
Yeah. Interesting timing. I don't think that they're getting divorced for the show, but this is also a conversation that's been happening surrounding Jax and Brittany from Vanderpump now going to be The Valley, because there were rumors about their separation. They have addressed it, saying, give them their privacy. Sometimes people need to be a part. It was like they didn't deny it. They didn't 100% confirm it, but they did say like they're not going to stand for the narrative of people thinking that this is just for the TV show.
Yeah.
But it is very interesting timing because the TV show is about to come out.
Yep.
So, you know, I do believe people have, I would hope, have more morals than that to fake a separation or divorce for TV show ratings purposes. Like if
Right.
that's how you live your life, that's insane. So I don't think that people do that. Maybe they do. Maybe they do, but I'd like to live in a naive world where I don't believe people do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think it's interesting that you know, Portia, she's going to be heading back to TV, and we'll get more details about it for sure. And that wraps up today's topics.
You guys know we absolutely love shopping at Macy's, and now Macy's newest restwear brand, State of Day, follows you from sunrise to slumber and all the moments in between. What state are you in? Going straight from your morning cup of coffee to walking the dog? Just throw on a cozy cardigan. About to hop on a video call? State of Day has a cozy fit for that too. They've got essentials like PJs, tees, robes, cardigans, silky sets, and more. All this stuff is so comfy cozy. You know us. We love to be comfortable and still look cute. That is our favorite. And State of Day has all the essentials that we need if we are, you know, like we are right now. If we're sitting on Zoom recording, we can be comfy, cozy. And if we need to go into the office later, we can still stay in the same outfit. It is still so cute. Or even if you're coming home from a long day at work, you want to unwind, put on some cozy PJs, tees, or even like a nice silky set when you're getting into bed, feeling cozy. It's great. So you can check State of Day at Macy's.com/State of Day. So once again, check State of Day at Macy's.com/State of Day.
All right, let's get into the weekly watch report where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly watch report. I wanted somebody else to do on Monday right there. Like I wanted to do a collab to change it up.
I'll collab with you
report.
on Monday. Okay. Start
we
over.
have to redo that. We have to redo that.
God, this is, oh God.
It's a disaster. All right. Weekly watch report.
On Monday.
Delayed. Weekly watch report.
On Monday.
No. Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report
On Monday.
There you go.
I feel like that collab probably works better in person.
Yeah, over the Zoom there's like a delay. So
Yes.
it was delayed. Yeah, we'll try it again. We'll try it again in person next time.
Yeah.
Weekly watch report. The things I watched this week. Number 1, Notting Hill. Finally, I've done it. Finally, I've watched Notting Hill after years of recommendation. Noah kept telling me, you need to watch Notting Hill. You need to watch Notting Hill. Oh, if you love London so much, why aren't you watching Notting Hill? Finally, because I think I'm going back to London this year, I put on Notting Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, we did it.
Absolutely fantastic. A plus. Absolutely fantastic. It might be my favorite rom-com. It's definitely top 3. Going with How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and 10 Things I Hate About You at Notting Hill. I don't know. Right now it's at the top because I just fucking loved it so much. It was funny. It was filled with romance, love. I wasn't expecting it to be so funny. Fantastic. And then I got somebody else to watch Notting Hill this weekend because I loved it so much. My friend, I said, you ever watched Notting Hill? She said, no. I said, you have to watch it. She watched Notting Hill. Like, I know I'm very behind, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens with old movies. You don't see them and then you see them and you love them.
No, I'm smiling from ear to ear. Nothing makes me happier than to hear your excitement over Notting Hill because it really is just an all-time classic. I don't know any of the words, but you know the song that plays.
Yeah.
I said that.
It's just,
Yep.
it's it's unbelievable.
I
So
said
that's
your next movie should be About Time, which is the same director. It's also set in London, romantic comedy. Actually,
all
Margot
right. Give me
Robbie
some
is.
time to just really soak in my love for Notting Hill first.
Yeah,
All
Like,
right,
seriously,
all
we're not
right.
ready
I
to
don't
move on to the next one.
I don't want to just
How long do
move.
you
Like I'm just
need?
like tossing Notting Hill. Probably like a year. Like I'm not just tossing Notting Hill to the side.
You're not gonna watch
Like
another
I
rom-com
need
for
to
a
spend
year.
my time. I
Well,
need to.
she's gonna
I'll watch
overwatch
another
it.
rom-com. I'm just not going to watch that one because I need to spend my time loving Notting Hill for a little bit.
And
Okay.
that's the true love for Hugh Grant. Like he's so great in that movie and
Just
he's just so
divine.
adorable. That character is such a great character. And I mean, it's a great story. It's a great story.
I'm watching it again today. All right. I watched Summer House. It's back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Summer House a B for right now. I think
Okay.
Summer House, as it unfolds, will get even better. I have lots of takes. I have lots of takes about Summer House. I really do. Um, I hope that Amanda and Kyle can figure out something for the future.
Yeah.
I hope they can figure it out.
I agree. I kind of fall in this camp of like, I don't know, Kyle, not that like things are planned beforehand or whatnot, but I just feel like Kyle and Amanda, when when they're on the show, there are more issues. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that it's played up, but it's just like there has to be something's got to be going on, you know? Like it's
Yeah,
just
but we
like
don't know what's happening when they're off the show. You know what I mean? Like they
no, we don't. We
fine and
don't. We
dandy on
don't.
Instagram, but in their real life, they're clearly something's going on. I just
Yeah. It just
I,
feels like we're on like a multiple it feels like we're just like multiple seasons of them having the same problems.
yeah, I just don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it like with each other. Like
Right.
I hope they figure it out because right now the things that, if Amanda is so happy to spend time away from Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a great sign. And
Right.
I think she's right. I think Kyle says he wants to be close with Amanda and doesn't actually show that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get frustrated for Amanda because I think Amanda's great.
I agree.
Vanderpump Rules is getting a C from me. I am just not buying into this. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's frustrating to watch. I think it's because if we were watching this show and we didn't have all these other things with Sandoval happen after the show in the media, maybe people would feel bad for him watching the show. But because all of these things have happened now, unfold outside of the show, like his most recent article,
I mean, he has not changed.
he hasn't changed at all. So it's like hard to feel bad for somebody that is clearly not displaying any change.
I don't know how we can feel bad for him when even on the show he doesn't seem like it's like all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, we got to look out for Tom, but it's tough because it is a very sensitive topic, and it is super fair for them to want to look out for his mental health. And it's conflicting for them because they're like, oh, we want to care about him, but at the same time, like we need him to show that he has, I don't know, learned from this or, the remorse is there or anything. And it doesn't even feel like it's really there that much. And I said this to you, Rhea, like Raquel said, Rachel, or whatever you want to call her, said in her podcast, which I thought was pretty interesting, was that like Lisa has such a different relationship with the guys on the show than she does with the girls, that the girls almost are more disposable for her. But it's also at the same time, like Lisa obviously has financial investments in like the Tom name and things like that, where it's like she's gunning hard for Sandoval to make sure Sandoval is okay. And she was like, she didn't reach out to me. She didn't want to make sure I was okay. She wasn't checking on my mental health, but she's so invested in Tom's mental health. So I kind of thought that was interesting, you know?
Yeah, I definitely think that's an interesting point to be made. And you're right, it is such a sensitive subject. And when somebody brings that up, you clearly start to worry and you want to make sure that person's okay. But with Sandoval, there's just something not right. Like I obviously there's just something, just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's every week it's kind of like frustrating to watch. And I think all those points that you just brought up about Raquel making were really spot on as well. Lastly, Love is Blind. Now, a lot has happened with Love is Blind in the past week. So we watched the episodes, okay? And now all this information is coming out. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about Love is Blind. All this information is coming out about the contestants of Love is Blind. Like, what is in the air? What the frick happened? So I think the biggest thing, obviously, Jimmy and Chelsea Jimmy can't stand Chelsea. I think that is very clear. Jimmy can't stand Chelsea. He doesn't know why he's with her. It's so apparent. He can't stand her. Okay. He said one of the most outrageous things I think I've heard a guy say on reality TV is that when Chelsea talked about them having sex, he said he wanted to take a breather from it.
Yeah.
He wanted to take a breather from having sex with her. No.
She initiated.
He just can't stand you. That's what that was right there. And
I believe he said
for
I wanted to take a breather from all that.
Yeah, he said that, and I wanted to take a breather from all that. What? And, Chelsea, she's very insecure, clearly, but he doesn't give her a reason to be secure. He called her clingy, all these things. Okay.
That is one of the worst things to be like, you're being clingy. Like, ugh.
You just got engaged.
Yeah.
You guys are just getting to know each other. Crazy. So, you think that Jimmy and Chelsea is going to be the craziness of it, right? But you throw them aside, okay? Laura, and let's not even mention Ken and Brittany. Ken, who can't get off his damn phone for the life of him.
The memes about Ken and Brittany were like, have been so funny because truly, like, Ken and Brittany broke up, and it took me about 5 minutes to realize that they broke up. Like it until he was like, all right, I'll see ya. Like, I was like, wait a second. I was like, are they breaking up? Like, is that just like, the memes have been so funny because it's just so Brittany, like so sweet. She's just like, I'm just like kind of just want confused. Like, let's talk this out. And he's like, no, you're right. You're totally right. You just don't really like me that much. And I really think that I just think that's it. That's it. We're just going to break up. And he's like, and that's okay. That's okay. If you don't like me like that, that's okay. It's like, what Brittany barely said 3 words.
It was the fastest breakup in the history of breakups. And then he said, give me a hug so I know it's no beef. When he said, give me a hug so I know it's no beef, I thought, did they just break up? Or did they just get into a fight? Like, I thought that they maybe just got into an argument and he was like, give me a hug so I know we're all good. But then I realized they broke up when I heard him on the phone, like, yeah, I'm heading over. This guy could not get off his damn phone. I saw a hilarious TikTok that was like, with Ken, he better not be taking away kids' phones at school because he can't get off his own. And I was dying. I was like, that is hilarious. But then put that aside, right?
That was
all
insane.
This shit's happening. Laura and Jeremy, who, by the way, we probably should have expected we couldn't trust Jeremy when he spells his name like an idiot. Jeramy. I guess that's on his, not his fault, but still. One of the most genuinely absurd. Laura played it so well. Let me tell you, when she knew his location and she didn't tell him and said, why would I check your location? Played him till the very end just to be like, nope, you were at Sarah Ann's. Like, Boom, she got him. And it was like that, the thing from Salt Lake City. Screenshots.
Yeah.
Like she had
Receipts.
she had all the proof, and she played him till the end to get him to say something, see if he was gonna say it. What a little snake Jeremy is. What a little snake. And then it comes out that Jeremy was engaged when he applied for the show.
Yeah,
What?
I know. There's just been like too many things happening. First of all, I also saw a lot of speculation that fans think that he like thought he was being slick, like sharing his location, and that he left they're like, oh, Jeremy definitely tried to leave his phone like in his car at the bar, but had like an Apple Watch or something, and the watch tracked him to Sarah Ann's house or whatever it was. Because it's like, why share your location if you're gonna pull some shit like that? Like,
no, she knew, but Laura knew his location. She was just playing him. Like what happened there was, this is what I took from it, was that Laura was just playing him to see if he would admit it. And then at the end of the conversation, she said, oh, really? Because when I checked at 5:30 a.m., you were in this area, which is where Sarah Ann lives.
No, I exactly. I'm saying she was able to check his actual location, but I'm saying it's crazy of Jeremy to share his location and use that as a defense to be like, I'm sharing my location with you, and then go to Sarah Ann's, like, how do you think you're not gonna
right? Okay, so I get what
caught
you're
in
saying.
that situation?
I get what you're saying.
How do you're willingly sharing it, and then you're gonna go there? Like,
right?
You think she's not gonna check?
Right. So people thought that he left something, the phone. Okay,
like people thought he left his phone to try and like be slick about it. Clearly this guy is slick. I don't know. He's posted on Instagram. He's tried to clear up that like his engagement ended. He went on the show. The timelines, like he sold his house right before he went on the show. Like all these things that like, the timelines don't add up. But yeah, no, the ex-fiance family has said things, and we saw the pictures and the living space, and it all, makes a lot of sense on why when Laura went into his house was like, are you a serial killer? Like, what is this place? Like, it looks staged. Well, that's because it probably was, because it's fucking brand new. He doesn't even live there because he just fucking sold his house. This is a fake place. And there's something conniving about that guy, because when he was meeting with Laura's family, and he was like, I mean, what a great opportunity. Like, when do you get to date all these people who've been background checked and psych evaluations? Like, he's like, everybody's vetted so great. It's like, well, buddy, you're the problem.
Right. And if you even have to bring that up, clearly there's something off there. But also, let me tell you, these psych evaluations and stuff that is happening for reality TV, they still want people to like act a certain way on reality TV. So it doesn't mean you're getting the most normal cut and dry person on reality TV because they've been psych evaluated. Like I wasn't understanding what he was saying there. And just bizarre to bring up in general. Like, I don't know. I mean, the conversation, Laura she played it perfectly. The way that she ripped that man down. I mean, obviously, I really hope they don't end up together. I don't think that they will. But that ended, right? We saw the episodes. We saw all the other stuff come out. And then, who we think is sweet Trevor turns out to be not so sweet Trevor. Turns out to be conniving fake Trevor, who him and his girlfriend plotted for him to come on the show. Like, what? That is a bizarre scenario where you and your girlfriend have are okay with this happening. So his ex-girlfriend released these texts between her and Trevor, where Trevor was like, I'm going on this show, like, just so you know, I'm faking it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, good luck, go get him. Like, okay, first of all, crazy of Trevor, also crazy of his ex-girlfriend to be okay with that in the first place. Like, all around craziness. And then I guess she wasn't okay with it. I don't know. I mean, these texts though, like some of them looked off to me. Like when he was just like, I was with a girl named Chelsea. Oh, and then by the way, Chelsea died. Like I'm like, oh, because his dog. I'm like, are these texts real? Like, what is going on right now?
Yeah. Yeah, these are alleged. But they've gone like crazy viral on TikTok, and there's a lot of like tea accounts that are sharing these stories and posting it out there. Trevor's to me, if we're saying like this, there's truth to some of these stories that are being put out there. Trevor's to me is like way more damning. Like that's like way more like, whoa, that's crazy. Like it's one thing to leave for a show where it's like the end game is you get married and you like have a girlfriend and you're just going on the show like because you want to be on TV or like, I don't know, like be famous or whatever the hell you're trying to do. That's crazy. Like the Jeremy stuff, yes, he was engaged. Like, is it kind of cringy? Like, yeah, but if they did break up and he sold his house and then he went on Love is Blind, like it's like, okay, fair. It's just really close together. Like it's just
I think
like if you're the ex-fiance, you're just fucking pissed. You're like, oh, we broke up and now you're on fucking Love is Blind.
Right.
Like that's just like annoying.
Yeah, I think it is possible that they were already broken up and then he went on Love is Blind. I think people are like, oh, he signed up when he was still engaged, but I think with that, it could be possible that they broke up and then he signed up, which is still bizarre. And like you said, like you're just pissed off and you're like, ew, why would you do that? But with Trevor and his girlfriend, it's just like
that's
really
shit's
sneaky and conniving and really creepy and weird.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I almost proposed, but don't worry, like I wasn't gonna actually get married. Like it was just like what? It was just so, I don't know. That shit's weird. It seems so far-fetched that it's like, oh, these can't be real, but I don't know. Like that's
don't you think he would have cleared it up by now? Like if that's not real, do you have to say like this is really not real? Someone's faking this? Because
I don't know.
That's alarming. But yeah,
I know because there were pictures of the two of them together. It did seem evident that was a thing. So
I'm going to give Love is Blind an A right now. We still haven't gotten to the episodes of them all meeting in person with the other people. So I'm excited for that to go down, but I'm giving it an A. These were some solid episodes, even though I was really pissed that they didn't just release them all. Like, what the fuck was that about? Like, now we have to wait for this. But we're going to see Laura and Sarah Ann and Jess and Chelsea and Jimmy and all of them. So Love is Blind is getting an A.
Yeah, it's some crazy shit. The comments on Trevor's last Instagram post are wild. He hasn't turned the comments off, which is kind of nuts too.
If this guy admits to this,
I know everyone's like, we should all unfollow him. Like we're giving him what he wants, but everyone's like, explain the screenshots, like unfollowing you. This comment says, a guy that threatens a woman with sex tapes if she exposes they were in a relationship. A guy that pretended to like the Notebook and be a good guy for clout deserves nothing but not to be famous. Damn, was there a sex tape threat to the ex-girlfriend? I don't know. That could be. I didn't see anything about that, so I don't know about that, but wow.
I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah.
Either,
but no,
that would be absurd. And also
everyone's commenting like you're like, wow, all the men this season, red flag.
Yeah, like, so I don't even know why Jeremy's bringing up this psych evaluation and all that, because it clearly, think people are still going to act wild. So I'm excited for the next episodes. And the reunion, I think, is what we are all rooting for.
Yeah. And I know we haven't really talked about them that much because they just haven't been as in the drama, but it's honestly crazy because if there wasn't all this other crazy shit happening, I feel like they would be such a big focus too. Like the conversations that fucking Johnny and Amy are having about birth control is wild. Like I don't know what this guy has learned. I don't know what he's been told. But it is like, he's like, well, my girl needs, like, sex cannot happen unless my partner is on birth control, and she's like, well, you could get a vasectomy. It's like, I mean, first it seemed like people were like, oh, that's responsible of him. And now it's just kind of like weird.
Very strange. And I will be honest, the other conversations with them, like I just fast forward because I'm so
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think you even watched them have this conversation.
I'm so interested in everybody else that like
Yeah.
I fast forward through them, which is kind of fucked up with me. But you know, when we're hanging on the edge of our seat for the other conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes me even more excited for like the reunion and what they talk about, because I would like to see Ken and Brittany talk this shit out too, because I don't know how that was one of the most bizarre breakup conversations this show has had. So, but yeah, it's been appointment television.
Everybody loves receiving gifts from loved ones. Obviously, it's the thought that counts, and there's that element of surprise that you don't get when you're shopping for yourself. But you know what you do get when you're shopping for yourself? Exactly what you want, especially when it comes to something as personal as jewelry. You could be really picky with your jewelry. I know that I am sometimes. And if you're buying jewelry for yourself, there's no place better to do it than at BlueNile.com. We both got super cute earrings from Blue Nile. They offer thousands of independently graded diamonds and fine jewelry at prices significantly below traditional retail. Whether you're looking for a bit of a special sparkle for yourself or just to give yourself a great gift, Blue Nile offers some of the highest quality standards in the industry. They also offer a peace of mind with every purchase with 30-day returns and a diamond price match guarantee. If you have questions, Blue Nile's jewelry experts are on hand day and night via phone or chat. And say you have a question about what makes one diamond different than another or want suggestions for gifts at different budgets, Blue Nile's experts are there for you. Sometimes it's really good to have an expert in jewelry to make you know the difference in the jewelry that you're buying, so you know what you're buying for yourself or buying for somebody else. Go to BlueNile.com to find the perfect piece today. That's BlueNile.com. Once again, go to BlueNile.com to find the perfect piece today. BlueNile.com.
Okay, what did I watch this week? A lot of the same things. So I'll give Love is Blind an A. I will give Summer House a B. I will give Vanderpump a B minus. And then I watched Beverly Hills finale. I'll give a B plus. Obviously, the last 5 minutes of Beverly Hills was the whole fucking trailer for the season, which was crazy. Kyle doing the white party at SoFi, crazy. Mauricio just like not knowing what planet he's on at all times. Like I'm like, hello, Earth to Mauricio. Like he's just so fucking out of it.
Checked out.
Totally. And it was sad. I did get, honestly, like I almost teared up a little bit because like seeing like Portia start crying when they were talking to the girls about like their relationship, like that was really, really sad. And that also really is such a, seeing it, you're like, oh, well, you know, Kyle wants nothing more than to protect her daughters, and like they're gonna hold on for dear life if it's gonna keep like quote unquote the family together and whatnot. So it was sad to see it all play out like that. Real Houses of Miami finale, I will give a B. It was good, nothing crazy. I'm sure Larsa and Gertie are gonna go at it at the reunion. It is pretty wild of Larsa to just like continue to go at Gertie. Like clearly Gertie's going through a lot. Like Alexia said it during her confessional of like, you know, Gertie's going through a lot. You kind of give her a pass on this. You say, I'm sorry, Gertie. I was wrong, Gertie. You know, just go through the motions. It's just, you don't go back at her. And I kind of felt like that was fair. I finished Mr. and Mrs. Smith, 6, 7, 8. Great show. Fantastic. I'll give those episodes an A. easy, like quick watch, really, really good. The two of them were fantastic, I thought, like really good. I could not picture Phoebe Waller-Bridge being in that role. Like,
Yeah, neither could I, but I don't know. It's just tough
I'm
after
glad it
see.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe she would have been good. I don't know. It's hard to picture because this
Yeah,
was
I
so
don't know.
good,
I just
but
feel like these two just had like, and these two had like a legit chemistry. I don't know. I just
yeah,
don't like Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Donald Glover, like
yeah,
don't scream like that they'd have like sexual chemistry, you know?
yeah.
At least in my eyes, I don't know. So those were great. Masters of the Air. I haven't watched the latest one, but I did catch up on 4 and 5. I will give that a B plus. I'm still very much enjoying it. No spoilers, but you're watching a TV show about World War II. Like a lot of people obviously died during the show, and there were some deaths that happened a little earlier than I expected them to happen, is all I'll say. And
If it's Austin, give me a wink and I'll start watching again.
it was disappointing for me, to say the least. I Abbott Elementary, the first 3 episodes, so happy the show is back. Just Abbott Elementary is just the best comfort show. Puts a smile on my face every single time I watch it. They had freaking Jalen Hurts in the first episode. Like, they know what they're doing. It was great.
Yeah, they got you there.
They got me there for sure. I just love this show. I think it's so great. I will give those an A minus. I love Abbott Elementary.
I
think it's
saw
so good.
the clip from Abbott Elementary. What's his name? Casey. Like he's big on the internet. But he was in the show. He was like doing a rap for the kids. That was very funny. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
I mean, is it just I don't know that guy's real name, but
Yeah,
he's
Casey
like
Fry. Casey Fry. He's like huge on the internet.
he's huge on the internet.
Like he's just like he was like a big Vine guy, I think. Like you would know, you definitely know. You've seen that video where he's like this, like to himself. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. You've definitely seen
No,
all his videos.
I have no idea who this person is.
Rhea, you know who he is. Casey Fry.
I think if I saw the videos, maybe I would know, but it's not like coming to me right at this very moment.
I sound so like a grandpa. Like he's
Maybe
big
I
on the
recognize
internet.
some of his maybe I recognize some of his vines.
He's like huge on Vine. I don't really know what he's up to now. Obviously he's acting, but
Okay, it's 2 million followers on Instagram.
yeah, I saw
Well,
that.
clearly he's
Oh, well, anyway, I guess
Yeah.
I must, maybe that was the newest episode. I've only
Oh,
watched
okay.
1, 2, and 3. And Chicago Wednesdays, those are the last thing I watched. Med Fire PD. I downloaded all my programs for my flight home so I could watch them all. Med, I'll give a B. I'm very excited for this week's episode. Big wedding. I'm sad and excited. Oh, not Med, that's Fire. But Med, I'll give a B. Fire, I will also give a B. Fire, I'm excited for this week because there's a big wedding, which is always exciting when, characters end up together and basically run out into sunset together, because it's kind of like the end of their characters. And PD, I'll give a C plus. Not my favorite episode this week. And that's everything I watched this week.
Okay. I watched the first 3 episodes that are out for Dynasty, the Apple TV docu-series about the Patriots. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but like it's incredible. Like anyone who's a Patriots fan, you have to watch it. But even if you're not, it's just like very well done. And there's all these stories that I would have never known or no one would know. But they also got like everyone. Like there's not one player like that you're like, oh, I wish he was in this. Like they got every single, like Bill Belichick's like doing interviews. So yeah, I'll give that an A. Like it just sucks that it's 1 week at a time and there's so many episodes. It's gonna take forever.
How many episodes is it? I thought it was 10.
I mean, that is it. Someone told me there's a lot, but like that is a lot more to go. That's like 2 more months, at least.
I mean, it's pretty normal for.
It's not. I just put them all out. Just put them all out.
We're getting greedy.
Yeah, I mean, Dynasty Apple TV episodes. Yeah, how many oh no, that's Dynasty.
The worst feeling is when you think they're all out when you're watching it. Like I was
that is the worst.
I was watching it like
yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking good. I'm just gonna watch these all day long. And then after like episode 3, it just like, or episode 2, whatever I was on, like it just stopped. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's 10 parts.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing that being like, it's 10 parts. It's 10 episodes. It's like a normal Apple TV drama coming out with 10 episodes, 1 per week. It's like Masters of the Air.
Or give me like 2, give me 2. Give me 2 a week. I watched Love is Blind. I'm fully caught up on this season. It's great. I mean,
yeah, we got Noah to watch.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I don't really like.
You don't want to miss out on history.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also just like there aren't that many likable people, like characters. Like there's not many people I'm rooting for.
Yeah, that's
like,
usually the case.
Like AD, I guess. Like I'm like, who am I like? Oh, like I hope that they like are happy. Like most of them are just like assholes. Even it's usually like I'm like these people kind of deserve each other. Like Jimmy and Chelsea. Like I mean, Jimmy's obviously like way worse, but like they're both like so annoying. And they just don't obviously fit together at all. But it's good. I'll give it a B+. Hopefully it gets even more chaotic, but
yeah, it always does. And you see if people actually get married.
Yeah. How many Love is Blind couples are still together, like from past seasons? Like, does this
there's actually a fairly decent amount.
Like would you say like how average per season, like 1?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
So it's kind of like, yeah, I guess that's just all dating shows like Bachelor in Paradise or like whatever it is. It's usually like 1 or 2.
Yeah, it's just really, yeah, it's like not that there's 8 couples that are still together.
Oh yeah, that peanut line, by the way, that hit home for me.
Oh yeah, him having the peanut.
Yeah, like I hope you like need your EpiPen. I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, damn.
Yeah.
That's dark.
That actually reminds me, not to like fully bring something else up, but Rhea, you were there. The peanut, like when we were at dinner, and this lady asked me, I was like, I'm allergic to peanuts. She's like, all nuts? I'm like, let's just say all nuts to be safe. And she's like, okay, so coconuts? And I'm like, are you like joking? But then when I posted about it, there was like, it was kind of like almost split in my messages of like, that's not a crazy question to ask. But coconuts aren't nuts.
Yeah, no, well, it was nice of her to ask, but I think we were all just shocked. And you were like, I never even thought about coconuts.
Yeah, like,
you know,
and
that
was Serena responded to me because she's obviously allergic to peanuts, and she said that she gets asked that all the time. But
really? Yeah, you were.
I mean, they're not. People are like they're tree nuts. They're not tree nuts.
They're not. Coconuts are a fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just feel like, you know, you got to give the people the benefit of the doubt on that.
And
they were like all nuts, like just the name alone. If you don't know anything about coconuts, you're probably like,
There were some people who were like, I am allergic to both, and I'm like, well, that's just a coincidence. Like, yeah, you're allergic to both. Like,
you're like, damn.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. So Love is Blind.
Despite its name, coconut is not a nut, but a type of fruit known as a drupe, drupe. Most people with tree nut allergies can safely eat coconut and its products without any symptom of a reaction.
Yeah. Apparently,
still, you should speak to a healthcare professional before trying coconut if you do have an extreme allergy to tree nuts.
Apparently, some people, or like some packaging actually calls it a tree nut, which I guess is just completely wrong. But there's a new show on Apple TV that I started called Constellation. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but
nope. You love Apple TV.
I don't really. It's just I will sometimes just
I feel like you watch a lot of Apple TV shows.
I just sometimes check Apple TV because for some reason I feel like they don't have any marketing, or maybe it's just because I don't know what it is, but I like whenever I go on there, I'm like, look at all these shows that I've never heard of, and they're like new, and they're pretty good.
Yep.
But it was because I went there to watch the Patriots, and then I'm like, oh, what's this Constellation?
Right.
But yeah,
Apple TV has good stuff.
yeah, they usually do. Like I would say, like they don't have that many things, but the things that they do have aren't. They're pretty good usually. They don't have a lot of stinkers. But this one, they're in space, on a space station, and then like an explosion happens. All the team except one have to get to go home, but the other one has to like find her way. Whatever. This whole thing, it's turning into like supernatural, like sci-fi weird things, but it's definitely good. I don't know if you guys would love it, but
Yeah, I'm
it's
not like
good.
totally into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But it keeps you on your toes. But I'll give it a B.
Okay.
I watched the Expats finale, which I didn't even know was the finale until like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, was it only like 6 episodes?
Yeah, I guess it was like a mini
Yeah, but those
series.
episodes were really long,
Yeah,
so it might as well
each episode was
True.
at least like an hour. Some of them are almost 2 hours.
True.
I have to make a disclaimer that I was like cleaning my apartment while I was watching this finale, so I wasn't like fully locked in. And also, it took me at least 6 hours to clean my apartment. It was absurd.
Well, that sounds like you did a thorough clean.
Yeah,
It was
That's
it was
good.
a deep
Clean.
it was a deep clean.
a deep clean.
But yeah, I don't know. I could see why people might say that they love this or like this show and that it was a great show and everything, like the acting, but I did not like the ending. I didn't actually like the show after like the first episode. I thought it was going to go in a completely different direction, and it's just depressing, like very depressing, not fun to watch. I'll give it a C.
All right, do not recommend.
Yeah, I don't recommend this. I'll give it a C.
I will not watch this.
Yeah. I don't like it. And my last thing was I watched the new Curb last night. You guys didn't watch it?
I'm not
No.
caught up yet.
Yeah, I got home late.
Yeah. Very good. This is my favorite by far this season, but I like the trend that it's just every episode's getting better.
Well, that's good because I was going to say last
Yeah.
week you said that one was your favorite. So
Right,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
only
It's-
going up.
It's only going up. So this one was very funny. So I'll give it an A minus. We'll just keep going up.
I'm
Maybe by the end of the
excited.
season it'll be A plus.
Yeah,
So,
it seems like it. I'm excited for that. I didn't watch
Yeah.
that yet. So, all right, those are the things we watched this week. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Make sure you guys check out those tickets for our upcoming shows, and the trivia game will be restocked tomorrow, Tuesday, noon Eastern time. So look out for that. We love you guys. Have an amazing week. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.